Hey, Ashton, it is now officially 6:59. You have less than a minute.
I've already got it pulled up.
Good job.
I try.
Hey, Craig, we'll start the show here in just a second. We'll have a little intro music, and then we'll get rolling. If you can hear us.
Craig, can you hear us?
Uh-oh.
Hey, just press for a second. I think you're good now.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
How's it going?
Good. All right. Yeah, it should be live.
Looking at all your backgrounds and your Kiss background and your album background, and I'm sitting here with my kids' stickers up here.
It's all right. Ashton, nothing's playing on your thing.
I know. I was just waiting for a down second.
Do it.
Oh.
Friends too.
All right, now we can kill the awkward silence.
All right, what's up, Craig? And first out of the gate, we've all been debating, how do you pronounce the name?
The band name?
Yes.
Oh, let's go around the circle, see who does it the best.
He says it's Craig.
Right. You said it right the first time.
I think John has it right. So let's start with John. And that way we can.
I went with Zarina.
Okay.
Wait, is that not right? This sucks.
No, that's right.
I was going to say, because it was between that or like using the TZ as an S and saying Sarina. So like they were close.
Serena.
Yeah.
Too cool. So where did that name come from? That's really cool.
Oh, thank you. The name came from me eating a meatball sandwich one afternoon, watching some weird, shitty History Channel stuff about old Russian Empire.
I fucking love it.
Makes sense then.
and I'm like watching this docu drama about like Tsar Nicholas and the last Russian family, and how Rasputin was like kind of like weirdly intermingling with the old family, and he kept calling the queen, the Tsar's wife, Tsarina.
Yeah.
And it kept happening throughout the series, and I kept watching it, and eventually it stuck, and I just thought there was something kind of musical to it. So I was like, oh, let's just see how that flies with the guys when I pitch a band name to them.
I really dig it. I really dig it.
Cool.
Now that we know how to say it, it's like I was like, Tazarina? That's surely not. But John's like, it's Tsarina. I was like, fuck, why didn't I see that?
Yes, I'm really
That's where it
smart,
came from.
and they didn't think I was smart, so that's it.
Very good. Very good.
So everybody's got a guitar on their background. That's awesome, including you, Craig. You have a guitar.
Where's John's?
It's good stuff. You've got Kiss back there. Come on. There's a guitar.
But can he
up there
like reach
somewhere.
back and actually like touch his guitars and like strum his guitars?
There is a. Oh, dude, that's
stop moving.
wow.
This is my
That's
kid's Lug.
that's
That's actually really cool.
yeah. That's better. I thought it was like a toy.
It is a toy.
Yeah.
Technically, so is this. Still a musical instrument.
Dude, that thing is crazy.
I love it. That's why it's in my background now.
All right, Craig. The zombie apocalypse is coming.
Yep.
You have 3 people to take with you. Who are they?
My wife, my kid, and that's I'll keep the other one in my back pocket for when I have to figure out who else I need.
Right.
I'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Right on.
If you're a wrestler, what would your entrance music be?
Oh man. Shit. It would be Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
But
cool.
it would be the live Rock in Rio version.
I think you've thought about this. He's thought about this. I think he's been slamming his kid on the band.
I was just wrestling with my 13-month-old.
Exactly. I saw that. I knew it.
Let's
Oh,
get in,
Lord.
let's get a little bit of the history from your guys' band, like how you guys got started and where you're headed right now.
Yeah, so the band, this band has been kind of a passion project of mine since probably late 2015. And at the time, I put the band together with a different set of guys, working on a completely different batch of music. And at the time, I was just like, I had spent so long prior to that, like going from band to band, being super serious about it, touring, being a guitar player, being a frontman, with different local regional acts. And I got to a point where I was just like, I'm just going to do a band that is just for fun, and I'm going to relax for a little bit. And then I started getting all these ideas for stuff that like just was purely ideas that I wanted to execute on. And so at the time I was living in Connecticut, and I was on my way back to New York City. And as I was making that transition, it was just like, finding the right guys out here that wanted to do the same thing. I eventually found my guitar player, Mark. He found me on a website called it's like a bandmate finder website.
So band Tinder.
That's the joke. That's the joke. We kept
Swipe left. Swipe left.
We kept calling it Tinder for bandmates, and so that's how I met Mark, my guitar player, and we started jamming for a bit, and he introduced me to our bassist Mike, who was his old bassist in their last band. And then the three of us were together for a few months trying out drummers, and we eventually landed on our buddy Rob. We found him through a recommendation, and he came in for one audition, and we liked him, and 2 weeks later COVID happened. So
Nice.
Figures.
yeah. So the origin of the band just kind of continued through COVID as me kind of driving it as a passion project and taking the direction with the songwriting and like the stylistic choices. And and then kind of bringing the guys back into it. And, you know, that was in mid 2000, and now here we are, and, you know, almost the end of the first quarter of 2024, and that album is just now about ready to you know, be put out there.
Right on. Speaking of songwriting, do you have a special songwriting recipe that you follow when you're writing?
I'm a guitar player, like through and through.
Okay.
Like even more than I'm like a frontman, or anything else. But like I can't write a song without having drums in mind. So most of the songs that are on this album were demoed like with like drums first. Like I would like write out MIDI drum ideas, or I would get like session guys to work with me on putting some of the song ideas together. But it would always start with drums, and then guitar, and then bass, and then filling it in, and then rewriting, and then approaching vocals last, which is to my detriment because I, you know, write these really fucking stupid guitar parts, and then I realize I have to sing over them later.
That's so true. I never even thought about something like that. It's like, dude, that's wicked. Let me scream over it now.
Yeah, basically.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you the band is pretty heavy. Where do you guys get your influence, or where do you get your influence from writing?
I mean, most of our shared influences are bands like Thrice or
Nice.
Alexis on Fire, Glassjaw, a lot of like the post-hardcore stuff. But then like in our own worlds, like I'm like, I love jazz. I love really strange, weird avant-garde jazz that my wife just can't fucking be in the same room when we're listening to a record. Like, I'll be listening to like a Nels Cline or like a Herbie Hancock record, and like in the middle of the album it'll get real weird, where it's just like diatonic bullshit for like 23 minutes.
Yeah.
And then she has to walk out because she's like, I can't take this.
I can't do it.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Let's see. Mark is actually he's also like, you know, we have a lot of the same rock influences, but he's a musical theater background. So he has like this kind of like really great voice, you know. He which is funny because like I'm the frontman, lead vocalist, but he's the backup vocalist with the better voice. So it's almost like a David Lee Roth.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. But it works out. Like when one of my favorite things to do when we're writing new stuff is sitting down with our demos, or even like our final productions, doing like a final mix on our vocal tracks specifically, because I just love the way our voices mesh together when we write parts.
Really cool. So you just put out Borrowed Time. I want to see if we can see any Herbie Hancock influence into this. So, Ashton, you got that queued up?
Yes, I do. Here we go.
With our bellies full, it's so we can afford. We will not control. With the headdress gone, bend the wheel in you. Cut the notes with the song, let the teeth through the clouds. We stand by the town.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't see Herbie Hancock in there anyway.
The closest you're going to get to anything Herbie Hancock in that song is probably that key change between the pre-chorus and the chorus. That's it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Are you on mute, Ashton? It looks like you're trying to say something.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I was like,
Yes, I am.
It's like he's laughing and nothing's coming out. This is really kind of freaking me out.
I lost my voice.
Oh shit.
Anyways,
I want to check with you real quick. What's the best place for anybody to find you guys online? Would be a social media or a website, or where would they search for you guys?
It would be at Zarina.official on Instagram. It's probably our number one platform is Instagram. You can also find us with the same tag, I think, on Facebook. Our official website is zarinaband.com. And then we have a TikTok handle that is, I'll tell you right now.
it's like, hang on, give me a second.
It's got Zarina in the name.
Zarina Band on TikTok. That's how often I go on TikTok.
Right.
I understand that statement.
We are definitely on TikTok, and that was news to John last week, I think. He's like, we got TikTok?
Wait a minute.
So there's a chance you might be on TikTok next, or like tomorrow, actually, with us.
Yeah.
Right.
It's good to know y'all have a TikTok because now you're going to get tagged in it.
Yep. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Tag us in it.
So you said your album, it's upcoming. Do you have a release date for that yet, or is that still on the down low and we're not sure?
March 22nd. March 22nd it comes out.
So it's like here.
Wow, it's coming.
Yeah. We were supposed to be. It was supposed to be March 15th, but I messed up my distribution dates, and so now it's March 22nd.
Fair enough.
I'm terrible with logistics and paperwork and all that stuff. So it got fucked up.
So you're gonna have an album release party on March 20th at St. Vitus Bar in New York. No, changed already.
So St. Vitus. I don't know. Are you guys aren't from New York, right?
No.
We didn't introduce ourselves properly.
We didn't, did we?
Well, where are you from?
I'm Randy. I'm from Oklahoma City.
I'm Ashton. I'm also in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, it's where my wife is from.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we were just.
John's
there,
like, what's her name?
We were just out in KC and Topeka for the holidays.
Well, next time that you guys roll back through here, you'll have to hit me up, and we'll have a sit down or something.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really cool.
Got to go to the booby trap.
Yep, the booby trap.
So yeah, St. Vitus is like in Brooklyn in New York. It's the mecca for heavy music, metal, thrash, noise, hardcore, punk. It's just like it's like the community center for all of the alternative music that exists in New York City. And it got shut down temporarily because of the Department of Buildings they were getting complaints lodged against them, and now they're going through a little downtime until they reopen. But they're
been to a couple of those places.
Their team, well, not for nothing, but their teams are super professional, and when they found out they were getting shut down, they helped us relocate to a new venue.
Dude, that's slick.
So now it's going to be at TVI, in Ridgewood in like Brooklyn, Queens. So pretty close by. Same date, same time, same bill.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
cool.
really
I
awesome
mean,
that they did that.
no shit. I wasn't expecting that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hats off, man. Hats off.
Other than your release show, are you guys having like a actual tour set up or anything to go out and support the release of it?
I think the idea is to get something like that together probably for the fall, where honestly we've been talking about doing the Midwest for a long time.
Hey,
My wife is from the Midwest, and my brother-in-law is a sound guy in the Midwest. So
here we are. Here we are.
We have a photographer too.
Yeah. We got some places you might be able to just get up there on stage on.
Yeah. But yeah, we're thinking either that or maybe doing like a round of Northeast cities like Boston, New Haven, Brooklyn, maybe getting up to like Burlington, just doing all the Northeast, and then maybe if we can start moving down south a little bit. And then
Cool.
if another band wants to pick us up for supporting act, then we're more than happy to do that too.
Yeah,
Really
that'd be
nice.
awesome, especially if you make it down here. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, definitely keep us in the loop, man. If Topeka, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, anything it falls anywhere that you may be wanting to go, then
What's funny is like my whole band, all the guys we all live in New York City. My drummer and I live in Brooklyn. My guitar player and my bassist live in Manhattan. But they're all Midwest kids. They're all transplants. So like Mark is from Wichita.
what?
Rob is from
Shit.
Rob is from somewhere in Indiana, and I think Mike is from Dallas.
Holy hell.
Damn.
Yeah, it's all centered right around us, man. Yeah.
Yeah, bring them
Let's
home.
Get on down here.
Yeah.
Oh, that is crazy.
Surely trees in Dallas would pick you up. I've heard that's a really nice place to be. But
I wouldn't know.
I bet he does. I bet if you said, "What about trees in Dallas?" he'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
I was in Dallas for 18 hours once. That's my longest stint in Texas.
And that was probably just stuck in traffic, wasn't it?
It was for a work thing I had to be at.
That traffic sucks ass.
Yeah, it can't be worse than New York City.
Dude, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I've seen New York, and it's
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
that's why everyone rides bikes or walks around there.
Right.
Even the bicyclists, like those bike lanes are getting crammed these days.
Figures.
That's crazy.
Uh,
That's crazy. I remember being in California, stupid us, right around rush hour, was on the highway. We got caught in like 4 different towns rush hours. It's like, what in the fuck? It was horrible.
were you in LA?
Yeah, right in LA. Yeah, it was terrible. I'm like, how have we hit every fucking rush hour in every city? It's like it would start to clear up, and then fuck you.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a kind of off the wall question to you. You said this was like your passion project. Are you still involved in any other bands at the same time, or has everything else been put aside and this is now where you're at?
It's not that everything else was put aside. It's just everything else kind of came and went. So, every project I've been in the last 10 years, I've either just played guitar in or I've played guitar and I've sang in. and those projects have been everything from like weird alternative rock, like Incubus influenced, sort of heavy but like bouncy rock and roll, to like straight up thrash metal, to like very alternative pop punk. Couple hard, like just straight up hardcore bands. And yeah, now this is it. Like this is my thing. Like most of my time spent doing anything musical is in service of this project, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Is that is there any of those different styles that you played before that still influence what you're doing now?
Yeah, a lot of the metal stuff, and like like growing up, I grew up in an age where like new metal was like the thing, you know, much to some people's chagrin. A lot of people didn't like it. I loved it. I loved it growing up. But then like I kind of stepped away from it, you know, in high school and in college. I kind of came away from it, and even more so into my 20s, when I was really starting to take being a musician much more seriously. But now I think like bringing about, like finding my bandmates and putting this project together kind of gave me a new appreciation for that stuff that, you know, as much as I would admit it, is definitely, you know, where I'm rooted, you know. So much so that like I spent a good part of COVID like just listening to like all these new metal and new wave of American metal bands. Just like I spent like a good 9 months just like re-listening to all these old albums that I loved, and just having a new appreciation for them, because I've, you know, since started getting into the engineering and production side of music, and have become a better musician overall. So like going back and listening to the stuff, like I have a new ear for that type of music, and I appreciate it much more.
I've noticed that. I've done that too, where I go back and revisit music I used to listen to, and it's like, man, I don't remember that. Yeah. These guys were freaking phenomenal, especially for their time. I mean, holy shit, you know? And there's even some bands that I was not into, like in my high school years and stuff. Now I hear them, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking, man? Why was I not listening to this? This is freaking amazing. What was I doing? You know, I guess I just, you just kind of follow trends, and you follow your peers and kind of things like that. You know, if they weren't listening to it, you probably didn't listen to it either. But there's been so many bands that I'm just like, golly, I really missed out. It's crazy.
For sure. Yeah.
One of my favorite things one of my favorite things when I was a child, me and a buddy of mine, we would go like to the mall or to a music store anywhere, whether it's the mall or wherever, and we would play cassette roulette. Like we would either decide that we had to go with like the name of the band or the album artwork, and like we hadn't heard of them. We're gonna go buy something, and we were gonna try out something new.
That's kind of cool.
Some days you did really good, and some days, the roulette. it just wasn't in your favor that day.
I remember being not 10 or 11 and walking into an FYE. Do you all know or remember what an FYE is? Okay, so I remember walking into an FYE when I was like 10 or 11. I went with my cousins to the mall, and Limp Bizkit's Chocolate Starfish album had just come out. And I remember I was like, oh, I need to go get this album. I need to go find it. And I picked it up off the shelf. It was right there. I go to buy it. My mom had given me like $20 so I could go because she knew I have to buy this album. She's like, all right, here, go buy it. I was with my aunt and my cousins at the time. I went to go buy the album and it had the explicit lyrics thing on it.
Yeah.
And I remember being at the counter trying to buy this album and my aunt calling my mom, being like, "Are you sure you want to buy this one?"
Fucking Tipper Gore.
So, in the end, did you get the album though?
I did.
All right, perfect. I just wanted to hear the happy ending to the story.
At least it was a mission accomplished in the end.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Oh my gosh. Chocolate starfish. I can't even hear that without laughing anymore though. It's just like
it's one of those albums though that like I had that new ear for it when I went back to listening to it. And
yeah.
And like Wes Borland is such an underrated guitar player and he's so phenomenal. And like it's just like the first song or the second song, like after the intro track is like hot dog.
Uh-huh.
And it just kind of opens with that kind of this big whammy thing. Wow, you know, like it's like a minute of that just bombards your ears. And into like 3 minutes of you know Fred Durst's profanity.
Right.
That sounds about right.
But like it was such a good arrangement, you know, like it just really it was more thought out than I think people would.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's the type of thing I'm talking about. It's like you go back and revisit it. It's like, man, these guys were ahead of their time. What the shit, man?
Yeah. All my guys in my band are big nu metal nerds, which is really, really funny.
That's always good that y'all get along with that, though.
Hi.
Oh. All right. So just to get that out there, where is the best place to find you and where can everybody get your music?
Best place to find us would be probably on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at Zarina.official on Instagram and Facebook, Zarina Band on TikTok, and our official website is zarinaband.com.
Cool.
You can get us everywhere. We're all over Spotify or wherever you stream music. And the vinyl will be available on March 22nd.
Nice.
For purchase. So we'll have the web store up, and you should be able to pre-purchase it. Hoping within the next few days it should be up and available for pre-purchase. And then, you know, once it's live, you can just order it and it'll ship to you.
Nice. And that's going to be at the website?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, all right. Well, thank you, Craig, so much. It's been a pleasure. Please, man, put Topeka and Oklahoma City and Texas on your must visit.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
Because we'd love to have you.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thanks, Greg.
For sure.
Have a good one, sir.
All right, bye.
Bye. Dave Perry, what's going on, man?
What's up? I felt like a weird voyeur for a second.
I know. See, whenever I see somebody in the waiting room, whenever I see somebody in the waiting room, I'm like, do I let them in? Are they going to give up on us? Are they going to say, fuck you guys? So I always toss between, do I just let them in so they know we didn't forget about them, or we're just kind of just finishing up with something? Or
I understand the struggle. Do you kind of like rapid fire? Like, do you do a bunch of interviews in a row back to back?
We just do two.
Okay,
we do one at 7 and one at 7:30. So yeah, we would have no way. We can't even hardly handle that. So I don't think we can do rapid. We're not rapid firing nothing.
What kind of guitar is behind you, Randy?
That is actually a custom guitar from Kaiser Guitars in Oklahoma City.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't recognize the body and headstock.
Yeah, it's a custom guitar, and they do their own design. They do start to finish. They wrap the pickups. Everything.
Yeah,
Awesome.
everything's in house by the same guy, which is impressive.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Ashton, are those Ibanez's or Schecters? I can't really tell from the.
Both.
Red is a Schecter, Hellraiser, and the blue is an Ibanez Geo. Yeah, I'm like, dude's killing it right now. I love it.
Not bad for a fucking drummer.
For real. All right, John, go grab something. Let's test his knowledge.
Yeah, hit me.
Yes. All right, quick. What brand is the chair?
He said Amish.
I love it.
Shit, that was good. All right, what do we got here?
Oh God damn it.
That's a one of a kind. That's it. It's just,
Right.
yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I actually won that guitar at a raffle. It's a $2,500 guitar that was played on. There's only two of them. Ron, the guy that is signed to Kaiser Guitars, gets the first limited or the first run, and this was the second one.
Very cool.
And it's for Transylvania Orchestra, and it's got a wolf a werewolf in the inlay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
then it's phases of the moon on the rest of the dots. So it's really sweet. It's really sweet. It's got a kill switch on it, and yeah, dude, I got lucky as fuck. I paid $100 and won the son of a bitch.
It's a good investment. Yeah.
Hell yes.
Well done. Nice, dude. Well, thank you guys for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it looks like you do interviews every once in a while. You got a nice setup.
I do.
Shit.
This is not my first rodeo. No.
I'm a little jealous, especially the sound quality.
I'm like, shit. Dave's gonna be laughing at our ass.
I mean, the thing is, like, for me, with all the podcasts that I listen to, is that if I'm even, Dave Grohl is one of my heroes. And like, even if he was like sharing his life secrets for 2 hours on Armchair Expert or something, but it was done on speakerphone over a phone in like a shitty quality area, I can't listen to it. Like, it just
I'm with
like
you.
a jarring thing on the ears that I prioritize.
Dude, I totally agree. My wife is like, why do you need that microphone? Why do you? It's like, because it's offensive. I mean, it's kind of offensive. I mean, if you don't sound decent, it's just not right, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to listen to
when we're in this. When I am in the studio making something, and like I'm working with a guy like Kyle O'Dell who has multiple number ones and has worked with so many great bands, and he has the latest technology, and he has $10,000 monitors, and like we're trying to make this perfectly crafted thing, only to know that it's going to be listened to on this.
Right.
It's like drinking, $1,000 bottle of wine out of an empty Coke can. It's interesting.
I love the way that was put.
But but people should take pride in like certainly how they consume music and podcasts. So like earbuds.
Totally agree. I would like to be able to wear like over the ear earphones like yours, but I've got a tiny head. And for some reason it looks like this on my head. So I'm like, fuck. But I absolutely love over the ear earphones, man. And they sound so good, and it's so encompassing, but I just can't.
Ashton, are you just using are those just wireless Bluetooth?
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Makes it easy. Good quality.
Whatever working. Randy, that seems like that could be a good fit for you. It doesn't matter how tiny your head is.
Exactly.
Well, I've got a really nice pair of Shure headphones, but they look. I look like an idiot, so I'm just like fuck. So that just goes. Oh, what are you saying, John? What, John? Are you saying I look like an idiot now? Oh shit! So we did this on the first interview. We didn't introduce ourselves. My name is Randy. I'm in Oklahoma City.
Cool.
I'm Ashton. I'm also out here in Oklahoma City.
Nice.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Hell yeah. I'm Dave, and I'm in Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. So,
yeah.
Yeehaw.
Dave, I haven't quite figured you out. Okay, you're a drummer.
I'm still working on it too, just so you know.
Is that how you see yourself? Is a drummer, right?
No.
No. Okay.
I disagree. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like so like Fear of Water is a one-man band.
Right.
And like, so I take a great amount of, and I would say an equal amount of pride in all of the instruments that I focus on. I would say, from a writing perspective, guitar and piano are my preferences. I think they're the most expressive and versatile, but playing live drums is hands down my favorite because you can, it's beating the shit out of drums when it's mic'd up to an amazing sound system.
Oh, no shit.
Drum feels like it's thumping, and it feels powerful, man. There's like
takes your breath away.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's just that can't be replicated. So, my favorites in different regards, but I wouldn't. I am the drummer for Raw, and I was a drum tech for Nothing More. So like I have an extensive drum background and experience, but as far as it goes with like Fear of Water, I'm everything.
So, tell us how were you raised? I mean, how did you? I mean, really, what started you in music? I mean, what did you start with? Did you start with drums? Did you start with guitar, and how did you progress?
He started with a recorder in grade school.
The recorder.
A recorder
Technically, yes.
It's funny. A recorder actually plays a very integral role in my musical journey. In the fact that I fucking bombed it so bad. So like fourth grade band tryouts. Everyone has a song flute, as some people know it by, a recorder. Plastic shitty flute that has 3 holes in it. You learn like hot cross buns or jingle bells or something. And I fucking tanked so bad. And I went in there, I wanted to play saxophone so bad, like in my mind, for whatever reason, that was just the coolest instrument. And I vividly remember the conversation with my band teacher, Mr. Hotz, spelled with a Z. He was very honest with me. He was like, I appreciate, I can feel your excitement for being in band. I know that you've told me you really want to play saxophone. I'd never even held a saxophone. I just had seen it and heard it. And he gave me, as much as a 4th grader could understand. He like, if you struggle with this 3-hole linear line he gave me this explanation of a saxophone. He's like, I'm worried that you are going to struggle with it so much that you will quit music altogether, and that's the last thing that I want. So I'd like to get you into percussion and then see where we go from there. And initially I was very spiteful. I was really spiteful. I was like, it's in the back of the fucking room. Jason Malcor's back there. He doesn't give a shit. Like it was very clear. Like it was almost like the detention hall. It's like
Jason Malcor's back there.
Just burnout kids hitting stuff. And quickly within the first 2 weeks of doing that, I realized like I'm not in the back of the room. I'm in the driver's seat. And realizing that drums, it completely changed the way that I heard all music when I realized that all 50 of the people in front of me, even though they're not facing me, are following me.
Damn right.
And there's something really profound about that. And it really so at the time, and I'm a huge Nirvana fan, but I was like every day, Nevermind, front to back in 4th grade. And if you asked me 2 weeks before I joined band, I'd be like, I like Nirvana because Kurt Cobain is a great singer. These are great songs, cool guitar. And then 1 month into playing band, I'm like, I didn't know who Dave Grohl was yet, like by name, but I was like, I like Nirvana because the drums rip your face off. And is totally what's driving it. And ever since then, I've been, so a lot of my musical knowledge and the journey itself is rooted in drums. Certainly in terms of like being excited about that. Before that, my mom had started me on piano lessons, as so many kids do, and I really hated it. Like, I hated the instructional component of it, to the point where I quit. And just doing like, there's so much that can come beneficially from being classically trained on anything, and certainly like understanding theory and your scales if you have aspirations of like soloing or improvising. But I don't know, there was just something about the structure and the complete antithesis of creativity that was associated with that. The straw that broke the camel's back is I saved up money, which is difficult to do in grade school, and I bought the sheet music for November Rain by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And I brought that piano part in. I was like, I want to learn this. And she said no. And I was like, fuck you. She just thought it was like audio filth and was like, not in this room. Like, we're not doing that. I was like,
wow.
Then I quit. And fortunately, it didn't sever my relationship with the instrument. I just went this completely different way of like, I know enough of the basics, which, you know, theory wise, I didn't at all, but I just get the relationship between the left hand and the right hand, and how right is more lead and left is more rhythm, and the general nature of like the chromaticity of the instrument, that like we go to the right, it gets higher, you go to the left, it gets lower. And I just started piecing together stuff from there, and every other instrument past that, I've just taken a similar approach where it's like, let's just get the basics down. Let's understand what's up, what's down, what does the right hand do, what does the left hand do, what sounds good, what's easy, what's difficult. And, you know, like if you put guitar chord sheet music in front of me right now and held a gun to my head and said, play the first line, brains would be all over the back wall here. Like, that's just not a skill set that I have. But yeah, everything I learn by ear, and I'm self-taught on everything that I play. And you know, that desire to like learn and evolve has definitely spread into deepening my knowledge of like my engineering capabilities and software and programming and mastering. And yeah, I just want to like be a sponge and consume as much as possible.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So what is the music scene like in Austin?
It's good. I wouldn't say that I'm a part of it. You know, like the full extent of which I've been like an active in Austin part of the Austin scene is when I moved to Austin like 9 years ago, I joined a 90s cover band called the Dirty Black Flannels, and I played bass, and it was fun as hell. Like we played these 3-hour-long sets on Dirty Six, which is like the craziest part of Austin downtown, and play, you know, like just grunge music is my favorite. It's my favorite decade. It's my favorite type of music. And we played all, you know, all the hits, all my favorites. And that was great. And it was good for like networking and whatnot. But I've been doing Fear of Water by myself forever. And, you know, I've always been on the lookout for like other like-minded people that could help bring that to life in a live setting. But yeah, it hasn't really happened. A big part of it is that like, you know, we had quarantine, and then coming out of quarantine, I've been doing tour stuff. Like 2022, I was on tour for almost 8 months of the entire year, between 3 tours with Raw and then a 2.5-month tour with Nothing More, Sleep Token, and I'm blanking on the
that other band.
Headliner.
That other band.
But yeah, so like I'm like being a part of my community as a whole, like the general music community is very important to me, but I'm so nomadic in a sense that like I have not had the opportunity to like dig in roots specifically in Austin. But it is a great scene. You can see live music almost any night. There's a huge variety of venues, huge variety of different genres and generations participating in it. Radio stations support local music and weird non-traditional, non-top 40 formats. And there's a lot of really great things in Austin when it comes to music.
That just blows my mind, because I mean, being in Raw to start with, I mean, and then doing songs with Heidi Shepard, Aaron Nordstrom, Non-Point. I mean, it's just like, how do these motherfuckers just don't go, that dude, you know? It's like, how do they not just like beat down your door in Austin going, motherfucker, I need your ass.
Working on it. I'm working on it. Yeah, man. I mean, it's been. I feel very fortunate, and I have a great deal of gratitude for all of the artists, so like the ones that you mentioned, Elias Soriano of Nonpoint, Aaron Nordstrom of Gemini Syndrome, Heidi Shepard of Butcher Babies, Marcos Leal of Il Nino. My next single is with Clint Lowry from Seven Dust, which is like an enormous bucket list thing for me. It's like my holy trinity of musicians is Trent Reznor, Dave Grohl, Clint Lowry. So to say that I've made music with Clint, like the single features him, and then we also co-wrote 3 other songs after working together on that collaboration. Like, for all intents and purposes, I'm willing to bet that 99% of your listeners have not heard me yet. And I look forward to the opportunity for them to, or maybe they have, I don't know. It depends on what radio station is in their market, because the song with Elias did really well. It climbed the charts for 14 weeks and hit number 10 on the SMR Top 50 just a couple of weeks ago in February. But for these artists, these featured artists that I've been collaborating with, to essentially give me a shot, because like they don't know me ahead of time. A lot of this has just been like making cold calls.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just like fortunately the music has stood on its own enough, and I think there's maybe been some background vetting, like reaching out to Sahaj and being like, is this Dave Perry guy a fucking psycho? Is this worth my time? Yeah, I've formed really great relationships doing this, like doing these collaborations and having them well received by Octane and FM radio stations, and doing well on streaming and taking off on social is opening up the doors for not only more collaborations, but also working with additional producers and engineers that I really respect because of the work that they've done with other artists. And that's really that's my game plan for the foreseeable future, is just keep doing these singles with a big variety of featured performers, and keep working with a big variety of different producers to help get the most out of me. And we'll see where that takes me, man.
So are you still in Raw?
Technically, yes. Like, Raw is on tour. Sahaj is on tour right now, opening up for Union Underground.
Right. In Soil.
Yeah, in Soil. And originally he was going to go out just by himself, like just him and a laptop, which is, I don't think, the greatest idea for a rock show. And then he made an audible in like the last week before going on tour, like, I'm going to bring a drummer, like studio musician guy who was just hungry for touring opportunity. And so yeah, I'm not out on that tour right now, but yeah, I'm still part of Raw and have been since. It's cool how that came together, because coming out of quarantine, I was really like, if I want to, it definitely had a carpe diem type feeling of like, holy shit, like the world can stop spinning without a whole lot of notice. So coming out of quarantine, I was like, I need to start elevating what I'm doing. And part of that means working with other established, like more established people who can help evolve what I'm doing and elevate me to new audiences. So the first producer that I worked with was Sahaj. And what's interesting is that when the first day I was there in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where he lives and where his studio is, he asked me, like, what, I don't really get Fear of Water. Like, there's no band. Like, what are you trying to do? And I explained, as I would, say to you or anyone, that like, Fear of Water is like an audio resume for me. Like, I am making the best music I can with the best producers and engineers that I can, with the most interesting and relevant featured performers I can, to get my name and the Fear of Water name. Just basically the knowledge that I am a multi-instrumentalist who is seeking out new opportunity in the music industry. I mean, if you pay any attention whatsoever to music industry news, like, there is turnover in so many bands all the time, and I just want to be at the top of that list when the right opportunity comes up. So
are you looking for like hired gun type thing?
I'm not. I'll take that, but my actual goal is like full-time member of a well-established, like, signed touring recording session coming up, tour manager with relation, the whole thing. I have a very low appetite for like building a band around Fear of Water and grassroots, starting all of that kind of from scratch. So I'm really just doing this by myself to make a name for myself, and hopefully continue to open up doors that leads to an opportunity within a band. So I tell that to Sahaj on the first day, and he's like, yeah, that's not how that shit works, but whatever. But then by the end of 3 weeks
for everything.
But then at the end of 3 weeks of working together, he's like, so do you want to be the drummer of Raw?
Nice.
Because I never looked at it this way, but it was basically like a 3 week long tryout for Raw that I didn't know I was doing. And we spent all this time together. He saw me perform all the parts for all the songs that I, had wrote. And yeah, just made a good enough impression. And the current drummer at the time was like well into his 50s and really hated touring and just didn't want to do it anymore. And he was like, would you like this opportunity? Like, I had that first Raw album when I was 16 in high school and was blasting the shit out of it. So if you told 16-year-old Dave that 36-year-old Dave would be playing on the 20th anniversary of that album, I'd be like, that's bullshit. That's not happening. So yeah,
Love
good.
it.
So I'm
Love
just like
it.
going down that path and like, I know it can happen. I don't know what it will be or when it will be, but I'm very confident that I'm confident in the level of quality that I'm putting out there and the consistency that I'm doing it and building a team around me, like the team that got me connected to you guys. And I'm going to just keep evolving and elevating what I'm doing until I reach whatever that next level is. But I don't know what it is. And I think that that's actually a good thing.
No, I agree. And that's kind of how I saw you. I was like, I don't really know what he is, but I know he's good at all of it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that. I was like, I don't know what he's going for, but he's fucking good at everything that he fucking touches. That's what I know. But
yeah, I mean, like I've even had some managers because I'm actively seeking like I have people like I have like a radio guy and I have a publicist, but like I don't have all encompassing management, like career directional representation. And I've had a few no's already because the response is basically like, I don't know what to do with you. Like,
what
you're
not
this. Yeah, exactly. You're not this package thing that I can go sell to a label and then make my 15% or whatever. And part of me gets that, but part of me is also like, we are so fucking oversaturated with that. Like you go swing a dead cat outside and you'll hit 5 bands that all look pretty similar and sound pretty similar and want to do the same thing. Like I'm trying to have a point of differentiation here. So even though I don't like know what the end game is, I'm very confident. Like I want to have objective industry-based metrics that show that there's like a hunger for what I'm doing and relevancy in that, the amount of streams and its charting position and our program directors reaching out to my radio guy being like, when's the next Fear of Water single? And the amount of like people who want to collaborate with me. Like these are all not matters of opinion. And I'm going to just keep doing that until whatever the universe throws at me next. And I'll say yes to that. And it'd be cool if there was a manager that wanted to get on board with me and like help open those doors. But if not, I'm going to keep fucking doing this by myself.
I have 2 questions for you, Dave.
Hit me.
The first question is kind of a 2-part question.
Okay.
Do you actually have a fear of water, or where did the name come from?
Is that part 1?
Okay. The question.
Yeah. No, I do not have a fear of water. The name Fear Water is a reference to I never get the
Cats.
percentage right. Yeah. No. No, like the human body is composed of something like 75-80% water, and a lot of my music, especially early on, but still even now, is like it's my method of catharsis and self-expression, but also telling other people's stories. And I think it's such a unfortunately well-ingrained thing in Western society that discourages people to fully embrace who they are inside, no filter, regardless of what's popular, regardless of what's fashionable. And I do think that there's that really well ingrained fear of being yourself, fear of letting your freak flag fly, whatever euphemism you want to use. Like it's something I've always refused to do, for better or for worse. At the end of my life, I want to look back and be like, I was me, not I, followed trends, and wanted to blend in with who was popular. I didn't want to do things that offend people, even if it's standing up for what I believe in or sticking up for others, even if it's not fashionable or whatever. So a lot of my music has been inspired by and about, and even with my own struggle. I'm not saying that I'm awesome at this, but I always strive to emphasize my individuality and encourage that in others. So Fear of Water is really a reference of like the fear of like what is within you and being true to that. And it's just, I encourage everyone to like say, you don't have to go with the flow, man. So that's where that comes from.
Wow.
That's actually
And
really
cats.
cool.
The other
Cats, can't forget that.
The other very important question I have is, if somebody's looking for you, what's the best place for them to go find you? Like social media?
Yeah, social media is good. I was like, I'll give you my phone number, but I would say that Facebook and Instagram specifically. I'm there pretty much every day. Anyone who's been a part of these social communities, which have really exploded in the last couple of years, like it was great getting verified a few years ago and like seeing the numbers explode. In that, like, I literally will respond to every single person on every single piece of content, every single DM. Like, social media should be social. It should be a dialogue. It's not a, I have music, consume it, give me your money, help me out and show it to other people and move along. Like I'm not going to talk to you. Yeah, exactly. Like, and so many people do that. And some of that comes from ego and some of it comes from like, I just don't have time or I'm prioritizing other things, which I understand, but like, I feel like I'm using social correctly. And,
I believe that too.
I'm like here to have my brand established and to share that among a relevant audience. And if they want to help share it, cool. But like, I'm here to connect with the people that I'm trying to speak to and that I would like to listen to me. And then, there's other commercial and whatever byproducts that can come from that commitment. But really just at the end of the day, it's like, if I'm expecting you to give me 5 minutes of your day to check out one of my songs, then the least I can do is like respond to you because you're talking like at me. Like if you come to my community and comment on something that I wrote and put an incredible amount of time and money and bandwidth and blood, sweat and tears into, you're not just speaking in an empty room. It's like you came to my house and said something about something in my home. Like I'm going to talk to you. So that's really important to me. But anyways, to answer the question, even though he left,
right?
I can still hear you.
The best way to get a hold of me for the time being is via the social media. Beer Water on all those sites. Yeah.
And one thing you said earlier, you said that 90% of our viewers have never heard one of your songs. And you just said, like, if I can just give you like 5 minutes, listen to one of my songs. Well, I'm going to ask you, can you give me 30 seconds to play a little bit of one of your songs?
I can. I'm fully committed to giving you those undivided 30 seconds of attention. Let's do it.
Awesome. Then let's show off a little bit of what you can do.
Let's do it.
Finding out who I am, all the best parts of me came from your heart. Will my soul never know who I am? If you're caught in a fall apart.
You're on
How
mute.
difficult was I noticed that? How difficult was the choreography to learn? Are you a dancer or were you just like, let's just try it and see what happens?
Okay, so that's not me.
That's crazy because he looks very similar to you. Then that's my bad.
Well, so what's great is that like this choreography group called EMPHIS with a PH, EMPHIS. Did a tremendous job in this, and we worked very, very closely to. I mean, everything about that is custom. Like they specifically chose a guy who has similar features to me. The song is about the relationship between me and my mother, and grappling with the kind of universal inevitability of everyone at one point will you're going to lose the people that brought you into this world, barring some sort of tragedy that you pass before them. And despite the fact that being a ubiquitous experience that we all go through, it's still one of the most crushing blows that you'll probably ever experience. And it's something that I've struggled with for a long time, especially because my mom is my only parent, and she's been such a huge part of my life and part of my musical journey that I have what my therapist would call anticipatory grief. And the song is kind of about reminding yourself to not let the kind of crushing inevitability of what the future holds with something like that just simply cannot be avoided. Don't let that stop you from enjoying your life today with your loved ones while you still have them. Keep it in mind to give you perspective and give you gratitude for the time that you have, and like don't don't squander that. But yeah, it was pretty easy for me during different parts of my life to get caught up in the fact that like we're all gonna lose just the impermeability of life as a whole. Like it's kind of a crushing thought when you get wrapped up in it. And for me, it just you know, making music to find that like catharsis and process those types of emotions and deal with those concepts has always been really helpful for me. And Heidi from Butcher Babies just did such a phenomenal job of bringing, you know, for anyone who's familiar with Butcher Babies, like she's a beast. Like you watch her on stage, and it just sounds and looks like she could rip you in half, even though she's like 5'1". So like for her to come to this creative endeavor with me and bring that level of like intimacy and vulnerability, it was just like so grateful for her, you know, being a part of that. So it's worth noting that I love that song. That is the most recent single that came out last week. I view that as kind of like my crossover song for people who are like intimidated by like aggressive music. So like that means that song is definitely going to be for like a certain audience of people, in the same way that like on a Filter album, you know, Filter title of record has like Take a Picture. That's a huge hit. Did very well in multiple different genres, and then you dig into that album and it's like you know, Welcome to the Fold, and all these songs are like total head rip off badass tunes. So you know, something else worth checking out is Codependent Parasites that I did with Elias, and actually the music video is super happy with how that was executed, because the director I worked with was able to, it's hard to describe, there are 4 of me in one room playing with each other at the same time. So not like this where there's 4 screens. It's literally we did 4 performances and he was able to layer them all on top of each other. So I'm standing next to Dave on bass on my right and Dave on guitar on my left. And
Holy
Dave
shit!
Behind me.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth checking out. It's on YouTube and on the socials, and also just that song. I'm incredibly proud of that. And you know, Nonpoint has been one of my favorite bands since I was in high school. So like to have Elias be a part of that, it's great. It's great. I feel very fortunate to be doing what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, my point with that is that song is like much more aggressive than One Day that we just listened to. So like I'm happy to. My goal is always that like what I do sound like. If you hear 5 Fear of Water songs, from that point forward, I want you to be able to identify the next Fear of Water song you've never heard because of certain stylistic cues that I focus on. And that can range from like super heavy, aggressive, fast-paced, double-time metal to, you know, pretty intimate power ballady type songs like you just heard there. So if that was your jam, people listening, there's more like that. Go check it out. If it wasn't your jam, go listen to Fear of Water, and I promise you that there is stuff much heavier than that. There is,
yes, there absolutely is.
You will find your favorite flavor no matter what.
Yeah.
Really dig it.
It's been really great. Like, everyone that I've collaborated with so far has been really active participants. They're not just like, and I wouldn't have a problem with it if they were just like, tell me what verse am I singing? What's the harmony? Give me the lyrics. Give me the melody. Like it's this, and then I'm out. Yeah, I'd be like, cool. That's all. Thank you for your contribution. But that is in all 5 scenarios so far of the completed collaborations that I have. These people have all been like active participants. They want to talk about the lyrics with like Aaron Nordstrom from Gemini Syndrome, who's total like musical savant. What he sent back to me was a totally different key than what I wrote it in. And at first I was like, what song did you fucking hear that you're sending this back? But then I sat with it for a second. I was like, this is perfect, man. Like I would have never thought of it this way through this lens. And it was perfect for his voice and his style and his enunciation and his just emphasis and everything. And yeah, man, it's been great. Like having all of these creative partners who are also musicians and bands that I've been fans of for a very long time has been pretty fucking great, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, especially since they're helping with it all. It's like, okay, now it feels like you want to be here. You want to do this with me. You want to make this yours too, instead of just like kind of forced to be here. Kind of, that'd be a really good feeling.
For sure. And you know, try to understand where I'm coming from of like the first couple of times I do this. I don't have like, now I have like the built-in credibility of the other people that I've partnered with, and not that just those songs just don't simply exist. They are doing very well, and it's like you know, starting with a snowball at the top of a mountain and just letting it roll down. I mean, I'm watching it get bigger and pull in more stuff, and I want it to have its own gravity and become a huge thing. And yeah, man, it's been going really well. And like I said, very appreciative to this first wave of artists who got on board and believed in what I'm doing, even though they didn't know who I was or owe me anything. And I'm excited to see where it goes from there.
Well, those are amazing. That's an amazing group of people. I absolutely love Aaron Nordstrom. I've been able to interview him twice. And one time he was a little bit laid back. The second time he had Brian in there with him. Oh my God, you get those two together. It's fucking chaos.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck, what did I walk into? Because the first time I interviewed Aaron, he was really chill. He's a chill guy for the most part. And but shit, you put him with, as soon as Brian walked into that room, the whole place his personality changed. It was so fun. Yeah, and
they're a good creative duo for sure, and they've made a lot of really great music together for sure.
Yeah, and Heidi, God, you've surrounded yourself with some excellent people, man. I when I saw the list, I'm like, shit. I mean, it's like you're on our wavelength. These are the people I would have gone after
for sure.
I mean, it really is
exciting ones in the works that I can't say anything, can't confirm it quite yet, but there are some other ones that I'm given your taste, you will have the exact same response to.
I love it.
Incredibly excited. Yeah, man, it's badass. Like, it's just I'm very confident in what I'm doing. I've worked my entire life to have this level of like musical acumen and to have this level of understanding that allows me to be versatile within my own genre. And, I've also, because I've had like a delayed success in music, it's kind of forced me to be a more responsible human leading up to this point and help me develop like financial responsibility and business acumen. And like those things are absolutely critical when navigating this, especially without a team of musicians with me, without proper management, without a label. It's served me very well. So it's very like delayed gratification because I've been doing this for so long. But now that I'm at this crossroads, I feel like I'm on the precipice of something incredibly exciting. And I mean, it is already exciting. Like, I'm thrilled to even be sitting here talking with you guys about it, and thrilled to be able to share not even just the music. Like, I'm incredibly proud of like the album work that's being made. Ryan Barrier is a guy who's done most of my new stuff and did a Fear of Water like total rebrand with the treatment of the band name and the logo. He's good buddies with Corey Taylor, and it's just been really cool working with him. I'm super happy with the choreographers that you guys just watched and the video directors that I've worked with in the past, and like the whole apparatus it's just very inspiring to work with anyone who's fucking awesome at what they do. I want to learn from that. I want to meet their level of creativity and professionalism and just the fire within them. And yeah, that snowball is just going down the fucking mountain.
Good.
Like it's
good. I'm excited for you. I'm excited. I really am. Anytime you have anything that you want to put out there, just get a hold of us. We'll have you on anytime. It's the same link that you got on tonight. Yeah. We're usually here on Wednesdays. Just log in.
Show up.
Yeah, just fucking show up, dude. We would love the shit out of that.
I love that.
and just say, hey, I got a new song.
I love that. Yeah. Current guest. Shut the fuck up. I have something to promote.
Right. This is called breaking news.
Yes, exactly. I have an air horn like ready to go. Shut up.
But seriously, anytime you have anything new and sounds like you got something coming that you can't talk about.
I mean, the next one up is Shame with Clint Lowry, and haven't released any like teasers of that or whatever, but like super proud of that song. And like I said, he's literally like the trinity of my holy grail of musicians, and he has been super involved. Like, I sent him the song, and what he sent back was a totally rewritten chorus. Like, I wanted to work with. I mean, a phenomenal songwriter, guitarist, and everything. But I was specifically working with him in a vocal capacity, and he was just like, "No, I'm diving in way more than you asked me to," which is great. I'm like, "Fuck, dude, as much as you want. Like, just don't dip your toe in. Like, let's do cannonball into the deep end." So
Yeah.
Cool.
Super proud of that song. It's a ripper, and yeah, I'll come on and talk about it when it comes out.
Love it.
Excited
Love
for
it.
that.
Awesome. But like I said, just anything that you have, and you're part of the family now, Dave, man.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but you're there now.
So yeah, totally get it. No worries. No, I appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate the support and the energy and the enthusiasm, and just like it's been really great connecting with fellow music enthusiasts and journalists and people who have dedicated huge amounts of their life and their bandwidth to supporting artists of a variety of positions in life. But certainly the way that you guys support independent rock music means a great deal to people like me. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, you got anything, John?
I was just gonna say, if not, Ashton, play that outro.
I can definitely get that outro going here in about 2 seconds.
I'm like watching SpongeBob in his
In my guitar, I know. It's every show. How are you just now noticing this? I always look at it. I'm like, what's my kid watching? Okay, there it is.
his kid's watching.
All right, let's play this out.
We bang your ugly friends too.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's
Thanks,
good
guys.
stuff.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
man.
Dave. I appreciate you too. And
Yeah,
seriously, if anytime you want to come on, just hit us up.
For sure. And, guys, reach out to me on social, and obviously I'll, share anything that you guys are putting out. And, it's a team effort here.
Awesome. I love it.
Sure.
All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for your time.
Bye,
Appreciate
Dave.
it. All right, bye.
Take care, man. Keep killing it. Oh, he left before I could call him.